So it's EPCR Challenge Cup final week, and one of the teams that are playing there, South African interest, uh, Johann van Graan, ex-Bulls and Springbok assistant coach, Bath's head coach now, having a magnificent season with Bath at the moment, and really going well. So I thought we'd chat to him quickly before we get to the final. Welcome, Johann. Great to have you here. We had you on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, so it's good to have you back here.
No, thanks, Brendan. Great to be back, and a nice and sunny day outside of Bath. The temperatures definitely improved here in the UK, and the sun is up early and going down late, and that means it's the back end of the season. We were looking at Leicester 2 weeks ago, earlier in the season, but when you watch the footage of this season was at the back end of September. So the start of the season feels such a long time ago, but we're in the middle of May now, and a nice few weeks to look forward to.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Finals week, I know we've been there before. You and I shared some photos from back in 2006 with you. Crusaders Bulls semi-final in Christchurch. Found the other day some long lost memories there. They're always great weeks because there's just a different energy in a week of a final.
Yeah, finals are awesome. I find quarterfinals and semi-finals a bit more intense in the fact that you are so close and you're yet so far. Whereas once you're in the final, it's once off. The winner takes all, and you've got to enjoy finals weeks. At the club, we played in the Prem Cup final in the middle of March on a Sunday afternoon, and last season we played in the Premiership final on a Saturday afternoon against Northampton at Twickenham. So first European final for the club in many years, and coming up against a very good Lyon side who won this competition a few years ago, and there's some very good rugby players in their team, and great to see Arne Botha doing so well for Lyon. But from a final point of view, I think it's about focusing on yourself and enjoying it. It's such a short turnaround. We played on Saturday early evening in Bath against Leicester, and it's only a few days now, and then we play on Friday night in Cardiff.
Yeah, I was going to say, you talk about Lyon, and I mean, that's a team that we've seen the last couple of years grow as well. And Arno's done exceptionally well with them. They are a tough team to play. I asked you just before we started, any nerves yet, or do you think that's not going to hit you this week, hopefully?
No, I'm pretty calm. Follow-up process, start at zero, something that we started here around 2 years and 11 months ago, this journey, and two of our big principles are start every week on zero, and then never too high, never too low, because the season is so long. Rugby is an emotional game. So many things can happen. Red card, yellow card, special player doing something special, big moments. Some calls go your way and some don't. So now it's back to our process. I'm enjoying the journey with this group, a playing group that works incredibly hard and are hungry, Brennan. I think that's the one bit. They're hungry and they're tough to beat, and they're competitive every single week. And we've played just over 35 competitive games across all competitions now this season, and in every single one we've fought. And as a coach, that's great to see. And we've got some very good coaches here and some incredible staff, world-class staff. And yeah, we'll just keep following our process, whether it's the first game of the season or in this case, a final in Europe.
But I mean, you've had a lot of success, and I mean, and with the Prem Cup, you guys finished top of the Premiership now. It's really been a great season for you guys, building on obviously what you did last season as well. Has the thought hit you that you might be able to do more than one trophy in a season, or is that something you try not even think about at this moment?
No, obviously, it's a reality. This is an opportunity to win our second trophy this season. If we think domestically, the Prem Cup was the first trophy the club won in more than 25 years. I think it was 27 years, if I'm not mistaken. From a trophy this, let's call it the century, last time Bath won a trophy was in 2008. So, it's been quite a while, and the opportunity to win two is a testament to a lot of hard work, a bit of luck, and a lot of grace by a lot of people. So, um, but that will be mostly dreaming about it. We've actually got to go and do it on Friday evening, and I think that's one of the things that we focused on is enjoying the week and make sure we perform on the weekend, and ultimately what will be will be. So yeah, it's obviously reality, but I haven't given it. It's not a driver for us, if I can put it that way.
Yeah, I know you guys take game by game, and obviously the next game's the next game. That's all the focus. Um, there was some disappointment. I suppose you guys had a very tough Champions Cup pool, a really tough one, and to miss out on that one, in some places people say it's obviously not as prestigious as the Champions Cup. But I mean, what does the Challenge Cup mean to you?
Yeah, I think firstly, from a Champions Cup point of view, obviously, when you get to a Champions Cup final, you're definitely one of the two best teams in Europe. Our season started with a game against La Rochelle in the rain at the Rec, game of small margins, and in a season you've got to make decisions in terms of selection, and we went with a total different team to Benetton, and we lost in the last minute of the game with a try. And again, small margins in sport, and we beat Clermont convincingly at the Rec, and it was all to play for against Leinster in the Aviva, up by 21-19 at halftime, scored 3 tries, and unfortunately, we conceded a red card with a double yellow, the second being from a scrum. And then Leinster, as we all know, once they get momentum, they're pretty difficult to stop. So, across 4 games, the margins for error are very small. But we looked at the Challenge Cup as a massive positive, and we've absolutely loved it. We had to go away to Pau in the south of France. This group of ours haven't won in France yet, so we did that. Then Gloucester beat Montpellier from a quarter-final point of view, and we put 60 on Gloucester in the quarter-final at the Rec on a Sunday afternoon. And then Edinburgh away, as we've seen from a South African context, the Sharks won there in the last play of the game. The Bulls came up short, so a very tough place to go. And yeah, I think we played that game really, really well on that plastic pitch of theirs. And now you're in a European final, so obviously from a bigger picture, the Champions Cup, from a personal point of view, it's a competition that I've loved since coming to the Northern Hemisphere. Loved our time at Munster in the Champions Cup, and it's a different journey for us in the Challenge Cup, but it's a European trophy up for grabs. And if you look in the football world, what the Europa Cup means, as an example, there's if you want to draw comparisons, every competition is a big competition to win. And yeah, we've got an opportunity to win a European competition on Friday evening.
I think probably one of the most unfair things in sport is to compare competitions anyway, but I'm going to ask it anyway. You've coached in Super Rugby, you've won Super Rugby with a team as well. How does it compare to the European? Now, it's obviously very different, more tribal, I'd expect, but how does that compare?
Yeah, Brendan, that's a difficult one to answer. Firstly, let's start with Super Rugby. Super Rugby was incredible. You spoke earlier about some photos. I remember the travel. Firstly, the 4-week tours and then the 5-week tours. I remember at the Bulls, our first semi was in 2005 against the Waratahs away. We had to not lose to the Stormers in the last round by more than 19 points, and we beat them 75-14. So that was amazing to go to the Waratahs for the Bulls in Super Rugby. The next year, the last game was we were out in inverted commas. Then the Force scored 2 tries against the Sharks in the last round, and we needed to win by 33 points at Newlands. And if you think in those days, how do you beat the Stormers by 33 points at Newlands? And we won 43-10 by exactly 33 points. And The following year was the game against the Reds, where we needed to win by 72 to not go to Christchurch again, and we beat them on 92 points to 3. The point I want to make is Super Rugby was amazing. I think the competition at that stage was strength against strength. You only had good teams in Super Rugby, and I think the travel made a big difference. If you had to go to New Zealand or Australia, there were some phenomenal wins by South African, New Zealand, Australian teams in those days, but that was more once in a few years. Europe is obviously a lot closer, by the South African teams that need to travel. I'd say the biggest difference, Brennan, is the home and away support. Supporters travel because it's a shorter distance. There's also a bit more tradition, in my view, from a Europe point of view. Europe matters to Bath. If you look at the amount of supporters that travel from Bath all over Europe, whether it's to Toulouse or to Pau or to Clermont, and Cardiff is about an hour away with the car from here, so I'm sure there'll be thousands of Bath support team traveling to this final. Then if you look the next day, Northampton against Bordeaux, people travel in Europe for their teams, and I'd say that's the biggest difference, is the travel and then the home and the away support.
I think it's going to be amazing, Cardiff. I mean, you've also experienced Cardiff from a test point of view. I mean, I've done it as well from a test. That city just comes to a standstill on a test weekend. I can just imagine with 4 teams in there over 2 days, that's going to be quite special as well to be at. So, just from a team point of view, I mean, you've built the team around the typical South African strong pack, a good forward pack. Thomas du Toit's played some amazing rugby when I've watched you guys play. And you've got obviously the wizard at 10, Mr. The British and British Irish Lions, probable fly off as well. Hopefully they'll pick him this time, not like they ignored him in 2021. Just on that, I mean, just the game plan against Leon. You obviously don't give away any state secrets, but what type of final do you expect?
So firstly, I think we've developed an all-round game at Bath. We can win in many different ways. We've got incredible front row depth. We've got experience at lock. We've got some amazing loose forwards, all with different strengths. We've got a phenomenal 9 and 10. And if you look at top teams in European and world rugby, you need amazing 9 and 10s. We've got a very good balance in our centres between being direct distributors, good defenders, making good decisions in broken field. We've got some real superior aerial dominance, and the game have changed. If you go back to November, the game have changed with the aerial contest and what do teams do from it. And then, Brendan, I believe this game is about 23 players. Long gone are the days of picking a 15 and putting a few guys on. It's all a 23-man effort, and we love the way that we play. We can adapt in many different ways. In any rugby game, but more so in a final, it's important that you're well disciplined. You play a territorial game, but then most of the time finals are close and it gets determined by 1 or 2 individuals. If I just think back to last year's Champions Cup final, Toulouse against Leinster. Leinster had a drop goal with the last play of the game to win it, and they didn't. Toulouse won it in extra time. There's many examples of small margins in finals, and Cardiff, we played there a few weeks ago. The roof being closed, very noisy, and then it becomes about which team can handle the pressure the best. We're going to focus on ourselves as we do every week, but Leon's got some fantastic players in their team, and they didn't get to this.
I think I just lost you there for a second, but yeah, I got the gist of it. I take it you can hear me again now.
I can hear you, Brendan.
Okay. Just lastly, away from the final, there was maybe a bit disappointment from my side that the Bulls didn't win that game against Edinburgh, because they left their charge late. I'm sure you watched the game. Yeah, they came out just short against Edinburgh at the end there. I'm sure you would have loved to have played the Bulls in a semi-final.
Yeah, look, obviously I'm from Pretoria and I'm a Bulls man, In our home, we've got, generally speaking, 5 different teams that we support, obviously away from Bath, and the Bulls, that's where we're from. So yeah, it was obviously hoping the Bulls would win, and we would have played them at the Rec, but more so for the fact that I'm from there, and the Bulls are such a class team. But to be fair to them, they've done amazingly well in what they did at Glasgow and at Munster, and it's no mean feat for them to end second in the URC, and I think they'll be difficult to beat. And I think they've recruited well. They found a good balance in their game, and there's some good players going there next season. So it'll be great to have played them, but we could only do what we could, and ultimately Edinburgh were the better team on the day.
One thing away from the final, I also wanted to say, did you happen to catch the Dragons game this past weekend of the Bulls? Your new signing had a very, very, very nice cameo. Bernard van der Linde hasn't played for a long time and came on. He had a hand in 3 tries. Really looked like he's been playing every single week. You must be quite happy with him coming to Bath next season.
Yeah, looking forward to Bernard, as well as all the other signings that we've made. Obviously, still busy with this season and a few big weeks ahead for us. But yeah, I did watch him play, and seemed confident, seemed fit, seemed fast, and I thought his decision making was very good. So yeah, looking forward for him to become a Bath player. But we've got some incredible 9s here at the club, and Ben Spencer scored a fantastic try on the weekend. Louis Schroeder's been playing good rugby. Tom Smith's done well, and then Neil Leroux's waiting in the wings, also an ex-Bulls 9, and he'll get his opportunity soon. So yeah, looking forward for Bernard and Santi and Henry and Frosty to join us next season. But for now, it's all about this season.
No, fair enough, fair enough. Last one, just how I've asked you this before on the pod, just your time at Bath. You're obviously loving it there. Things are going well on the field. Off the field, you're enjoying it as well. And just how's it going there?
Yeah, Brendan, absolutely loving my time from a coach point of view. Very privileged to coach a group of players that want to get better every day. Incredible staff, world class staff that I trust, and they care for the team. From an environment point of view, we train at an absolutely fantastic place, Farley House, which we've created the insides of those walls to fit what we want to do and how culturally we want to move forward. The Rec is such an amazing place to play. I don't know if you saw the Leicester game on the weekend, but once again sold out. And I don't know how many games in a row now that we've sold out. The noise, the blue, black, and white, but more how it fits into the city. It reminds me of the BNC field of Loftus when I was a young kid, or the outer fields of Durban, Kings Park. It's that kind of vibe. And then, look, people have been fantastic. Sport loving people. It's cricket season here now. Both my 2 boys play for different clubs. So Friday evenings, Saturday mornings, Sundays, it's cricket time now. But people love sport. People love their teams, and they've been very good to us. And yeah, we've fitted in really well. We enjoy our church. We enjoy our friends. We've got friends from all over the world. Some good South African friends, Kiwi friends, but specifically the English have been very, very good to us. And yeah, look, as long as my family are happy, that's the most important to me. We'll enjoy our time in Bath, and yeah, long may it continue.
Great stuff. All I can say is good luck for Friday, and hopefully there's another trophy on the way, and I'm sure we're going to chat to you again when the next trophy comes. So I'm quite confident on that one. Thanks for chatting to us.
Thanks, Brendan. Much appreciated. Have a great afternoon.